This is Neural Newscast.
Here is what matters this morning, Wednesday, April 8th, 2026.
From Neural Newscast, I'm Peter Rowan.
And I'm Hannah Whitmore.
President Trump announced on Tuesday that the United States and Iran have agreed to a 2-week ceasefire, pausing a conflict that is now entering its 6th week.
The announcement followed conversations with Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir, who requested the United States hold off on a significant military strike.
This pause comes after the president threatened on social media to target Iranian civilian infrastructure, specifically mentioning bridges and power plants as potential targets.
While the ceasefire offers a temporary reprieve, officials have not yet detailed the specific conditions or if a longer-term resolution is on the horizon.
The president's rhetoric on social media has sparked a notable divide within his own coalition, drawing sharp rebukes from high-profile conservative voices.
Pundit Tucker Carlson called the threats to target civilian sites a moral crime, while former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene described the approach as a departure from America First principles.
In other news, several Asian nations have secured independent agreements with Tehran to allow their vessels safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz.
The Philippines is the latest country to strike a deal following a phone conversation between Tehran and Foreign Affairs Secretary Teresa Lazaro.
This is critical, Hannah, because the Philippines imports 98% of its oil from the Middle East and recently declared a national energy emergency.
Pakistan, India, and China have also confirmed that their flagged vessels are using the channel after similar coordination with Iranian authorities.
Shipping consultants note that it remains unclear if these guarantees apply to all vessels or if tolls are being paid for this safe passage.
Turning now to the domestic situation in Iran, where civilians have begun forming human chains around potential military targets.
BBC video footage shows groups of citizens gathering outside power plants and on major bridges to act as human shields following recent United States threats.
Authorities in Tehran have encouraged these gatherings, specifically at sites the president suggested might be targeted on Tuesday.
These demonstrations highlight the severe anxiety among the Iranian public as the conflict impacts the nation's energy grid and civilian infrastructure.
Meanwhile, in Iraq, United States freelance journalist Shelly Kittleson has been released after being kidnapped in Baghdad last week.
The militia group Kataib Hezbollah announced they would release her on the condition that she leaves Iraq immediately.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed the release and thanked Iraqi officials for their assistance in securing her safety.
Kittleson had previously been warned by the United States government that she was on a target list of female journalists held by Iran-backed paramilitaries.
Next, we look at new anti-drone technology emerging from Ukraine that could play a role in Gulf defense strategies.
Diplomatic correspondents are observing tests of specialized anti-drone bullets designed to defend critical infrastructure from the types of strikes seen recently.
While developed for the conflict in Europe, the technology is being viewed by international observers as a potential safeguard for the Middle East.
Still, the deployment of such systems would require new regulatory approvals and trade agreements between several nations.
Here is what else we're watching today.
NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte is scheduled to meet with President Trump to discuss the volatility of the current war and its impact on alliance members.
In domestic politics, Democratic presidential candidates are gathering at the National Action Network convention to court Black voters ahead of the next election cycle.
Finally, the White House budget proposal being released today includes significant cuts to the TSA that could eliminate thousands of positions.
These cuts could impact airport security operations and wait times as the administration looks to shift funding toward defense priorities.
That is the news for now. Thank you for joining us.
Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.